and welcome. Here we are at Live Euro in the living room. My name is Brooke, and these are my two lovely daughters, Coco and Ginger. And they've agreed to do a yoga Mother's Day practice with me. Oh, and there you get a glimpse of little Pepper. She's now almost 8 months. Anyhow, one of my favorite things to do is be active with my girls, and especially to practice yoga and Pilates with them. And they've started doing that quite a bit with me. And I asked them 3 of their favorite postures that they would like to do today on Mother's Day. And so we'll do 3 of Coco's favorite, 3 of Ginger's, and also 3 of mine, and I'll slip in 1 of Pepper's that she does almost every day, several times a day. Anyways, so thank you girls for doing this with me. I hope you all enjoy it at home as well. So let's begin standing. We'll warm up with a few sun salutations. Okay, so we'll come stand in front of our mat. And first, before we get going, let's just shake. Shake it out. Just any way you want to move. It's always a good idea to just get the flow going. Shake it out. Okay, anyway, there's not a wrong way to do it. Okay, then we'll find some stillness. Roll the shoulders up and back. I'm not going to lift my arms up just because you can't see them. But I'm going to place my hands on my heart. I'm going to ground my feet. Inhale, lift my spine, stretch my torso, lift my heart up. And then I'm going to exhale, forward fold, touch the floor, release my head. I'm going to inhale, lengthen to come up halfway. And then I'm going to plant my hands and we'll press back to our first downward facing dog. We'll pause here in dog and breathe a couple deep breaths here. Focus the breath in the center of your heart. And then from that focal point of your heart, reach down to your hands and up through your hips to lengthen your spine. Take one more generous breath there. Keep the reach down and forward through hands. Lift your hips up back. Reach the heels down. And then following inhale, let's inhale, come forward, plank pose, top of a push-up. And then exhale, lower to the ground, chaturanga. And always lower to the knees. Inhale, some sort of extension, back bend. And then exhale, finding our way back to downward facing dog. Bending the knees, inhale, looking forward. You can either lightly hop or step, front edge of your mat. Forward fold. Next, inhale, press down, rise up, all the way back up. I'm going to draw my hands to my heart and grow my spine, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold, releasing head, releasing mind. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, press back, downward dog. Again, pause, take a good deep breath in. Feel the center of your heart. Exhale, from that heart space, reach your arms, lift your hips, heels, then reach down and back. Inhale, forward plank pose, nice and strong in your plank. Exhale, resist the floor to lower, chaturanga. Rolling shoulders back, inhale, sort of a little back bend here, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. We'll just do one more sun salutation, so wake up and warm up our body. Breath in, bend the knees, looking forward. Again, lightly hop as you exhale, step front of your mat. Forward fold. Release your head. Again, inhale, rise all the way up. Lift your heart, roll the shoulders back, stay grounded to your feet. Exhale, forward fold, releasing your head, releasing your mind, shaking your head out. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, again, downward facing dog. Pause and breathe. Expanding your heart. From your heart, reach your arms, lift your hips. Navel the spine as you reach the heels back. Inhale, forward to plank pose, top of a push-up. Keep pressing toes, keep pressing hands as you lower chaturanga. Again, one more little cobra pose. Roll those shoulders back, hands down forward. Smile. And then exhale, we'll meet back downward facing dog. Pause and breathe. One more deep breath here. Exhale all the air out, strongly reach through your limbs, and then bending the knees, inhaling, looking forward, lightly hop or step front of your mat. Push the floor away, inhale, rise to come up, lifting your heart up. Exhale, find center. Okay, we're gonna step our right leg back. Now we're gonna progress into one of Ginger's first postures, flamingo pose. So step our right leg back. Feet are about hip distance width apart, but my right toes are spun in. I'm gonna square my hips, square my shoulders to the front edge of my mat. I'm gonna put a generous bend in my front knee as I hinge forward, keeping my left foot pressing down forward, my right foot pressing down back. And then fingers can find the floor. I'm gonna pause there. I'm gonna keep my left knee bent as I draw my hips back, as I draw my spine forward, inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. So this is the setup. So you can either stay here at home and just work this deep hamstring stretch to the back of the left leg, or you can walk the right foot in a little bit, walk your fingertips back to give you some more leverage. Keep the left foot pressing, keep the hips drawing back, and then maybe bend your right knee heel to bottom for flamingo pose. Take one breath here. Exhale, press down forward left foot, down back fingertips, release forehead to front left shin, and pull your right heel to your bottom. And then slowly the right leg lowers down. Very good. Hands to hips, unfold to come back up. Side two. So just simply change legs, right foot forward, left leg back. Square hips and shoulders, front edge of your mat. Put a nice generous bend in that front knee. Keep drawing your hips back as you hinge forward. Fingertips to the floor. And take one breath here. Just find a little more length in your side body. Lifting your heart out of your stomach. Keep drawing your hips back. And then exhale, navel to spine, release your forehead to your right shin. Transition your hands back, fingers face back. Keep anchoring shoulders up on your back. Now staying here and breathing into that right hamstring, or simply, navel to spine, pick up your left heel, pull it to your left bottom. And breathe here. Inhale. Exhale, navel to spine. Press the right foot down forward, squeeze your left heel to your bottom. Keep releasing your neck and head. One more breath, breathing into the outer right, inner right thigh. Navel to spine, pull left heel to bottom. And then release the left foot down, hands to hips, simply unfold to come up. Changing out your legs again, moving to one of Coco's favorite postures, Trikonasana. So we'll step our right leg back. Align your front heel with the back arc of your foot. We're going to now, let's try to stack our shoulders and hips forward into the nice lateral edge of our mat. I'm going to keep grounding my outer right foot down and back as I slide my left hand down my left leg, keeping a nice little bend in my left knee, not to hyperextend. I'm going to roll my top shoulder back. You can maybe take your left hand to the outside of your mat and reach the right arm up. For today, I'm just going to keep my right hand on my hip, but I'm going to keep rolling my right shoulder back. 2 breaths. You can gaze up or you can gaze down. Choose what feels best on you. So inhale, focus a breath in your pelvic center. And then as you exhale from that center, reach down forward left foot, down and back right foot. Lengthen your spine, keep rolling shoulders back. One more generous breath. Really lengthen your whole spine. And then bending that left knee forward and down a little bit more with your left foot. Just simply slide to come back up. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So I'm going to just simply turn my right toes to face the back edge of my mat. Align my right heel to the arc of my left foot. Drawing my shoulders back. Keep grounding down, left outer foot. As I slide down my right leg, maybe right hand to the outside of my mat. Roll shoulders back, stack shoulder to shoulder, stack hip to hip. Staying here and breathing. You can reach the top left arm up. Look down, look up, see what feels best on your neck. One more breath, pull energy from the ground to your feet, into the inner thighs, into the belly. And then exhale from the core of your pelvis, root back down to the outer feet. Stretch your spine. And then put a little bend in your right knee, press the feet down and away from one another and simply slide to come back up. Very nice. All right, next posture, we're gonna go ahead and square off the feet, heel toe the feet in, And take tree pose, another one of Coco's favorites. So we're gonna focus on grounding down through all 5 toes and then the heel. Then just put a little bend, find some leverage, and we're gonna hold on to the right shin. We're gonna pause here, find our center, find our plumb line, try to line our head right up on top of our heart right up on top of our pelvis right up on top of center of left knee, center of left ankle. So do the best you can. And then for tree pose, you're just gonna find an extra rotation. For balance, you can draw your toes to the floor or sneak the foot up to the inner thigh. Squeeze your foot into the thigh and the thigh back into the foot. Draw your hands together, thumbs right to your heart, shoulders back. You can pause here and breathe. You can always grow your tree and reach the arms in any which direction you'd like for your branches. Our left leg is our tree trunk, so we're making that left leg nice and strong and grounding down through our foot, our roots, and allowing our leaves and our torso to relax and grow. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale all the air, and then gently release, and we'll take side 2. So spread your right toes, ground the right heel, put a little bend, keep some leverage. You guys can always move over there a little bit more so you have a little more.
Shadow. She doesn't
Okay.
I'm like, ah!
Yeah, you can have fun with this. It's all about play. So keep a nice bend, hold on to the top left shin, balance here, find your plumb line, steady your breath, steady your mind. I always like to keep a little bend in my standing leg that's balancing. I have a little more leverage. Now you can stay here and just work on your balance, or take that extra rotation. Toes can stay on the floor. You can slide the foot up, foot into the inner thigh. Draw your hands together, thumb, heart center, shoulders up and back. And we breathe. 2 big, generous breaths. Inhale. Pull energy from the earth up into the core of the pelvis, up into the heart of our tree. And then we'll exhale from that heart, reach down, make stronger roots, shine bright, open our hearts. And then gently release. Very good. I like to, after those balanced postures, I just like to get a little movement in my hips and pelvis, especially if I held anything too tightly. So we just do a couple like hula hoop circles. It feels good. Like pelvic clocks. That's okay. And then after tree pose, let's do another balanced posture, which is eagle pose. Let's see, I think this was Coco's again. So eagle pose. So spread your left toes, ground the left heel, little bend, deeper bend in that left knee. So it's important to really bend your knees, but try to keep the hips or shoulders stacked on top of the hips. And we'll take our right knee and cross it over our left knee. Maybe you can wrap the right foot around the left shin. Try to keep squaring off your hips. And reach your arms out like an L shape. And since our right leg's on top, we want to draw our left arm on top. So left arm on top of right, and weave the forearms, hands together. Lift the elbows up, same plane as your heart, and then lower into your one-legged chair. Breathe into the back body. Keep lifting elbows up, pressing elbows forward as your head, throat, heart go back to stack shoulders on top of hips. Take one more deep breath into the back of your heart. Exhale, lower into your chair, navel to spine, lifting your chest, still. And then release. Other side, spread right toes, ground right heel, bend your knee quite generously. Try to keep shoulders on top of hips. Take your left foot, cross left knee over right. Wrap your foot, possibly. You don't have to.
You can also put your shin onto your knee.
You can do this figure 4. So you can always do this version as well if you can't wrap. I'm gonna go for the wrap, because I like that. But you can do whatever you want. So left leg on top of right. Now I'm gonna take my right arm on top of my left, lift elbows, same plane as heart, squeeze elbows, draw them forward. As my head, throat, heart draw back, shoulders stay on top of hips. Breathe into the back of your heart. Open that space there. Exhale, navel to spine, deepen your seat, lift your elbows, open your collarbones, even in this bound position here. And then simply release. That brings a lot of focus, a lot of Just nice grounding energy. Okay, nice work, girls. What's next? Now we have one of Ginger's favorites called Turtle. To get into it, I'll do a nice fun little arm balance. So take a nice wide stance. Okay, feet parallel. Bend the knees quite generously. Okay, you're gonna draw the pelvis back, and you may wanna walk the feet in a little bit more. You're gonna take your hands underneath your shins, draw the shoulders underneath your elbows, and squeeze your upper thighs into your shoulders, and the shoulders resist it. Plant your hands behind your feet, fingers face the heels. You gotta keep squeezing upper thighs into shoulders. Navel to spine, and see if you can lift one leg, keep squeezing in, lift other leg. This is called firefly pose. You gotta keep squeezing, you gotta keep pressing the floor, keep drawing navel to spine. Then gently lower your seat for turtle, reach the arms out, maybe slide the legs forward and release your head, forehead to the mat. And breathe into your back. Stay here for 2 deep breaths. Inhale, navel to spine, exhale. It's possible, if you have the flexibility to do so, reach your hands behind you to your low back and maybe grab for your fingertips. Keep firming shoulders up on your back.
I almost got it.
Oh, good. Take one more deep breath in your low back. Keep squeezing upper thighs into shoulders. Shoulders resist that. Feels so good in your back. And gently come out of that. How'd that go? Woo! That was good. All right, cross over your shins. To progress, let's do a nice back bend. Another one of Ginger's favorites. She loves back bends, so do I. I think Coco does too. So for our back bend today, let's do a nice wheel pose. Let's go ahead, ease your way down onto your back. For those of you at home that are feeling uncomfortable doing a full wheel pose, you can do bridge. So anchor your shoulders, anchor your head, press the feet down, feet hip distance width apart, and simply lift your hips up. Keep pressing head, upper back, shoulders. Be sure not to overlift the hips to compress your low back. So keep the hips a little lower. Focus on lifting your chest and reaching your thighs forward.
You can also put your hands underneath. If you give me a moment, just grab one.
Yeah, you can place your hands behind your low back. Give yourself a little leverage there. Otherwise, if you want to try full wheel, plant your hands behind you, fingers face the shoulders. Roll the shoulders up back, lift your heart, squeeze your inner elbows in, and you're going to lift your heart up as you press the hands and feet down. Release your head, shake it out. Maybe rise up onto the balls of the feet, walk the feet in. Try to stack shoulders on top of hands, releasing your neck, and then fully ground the feet. We're here 2 more breaths. Inhale. Be sure to keep grounding through hands, fingertips pressing, neck releasing. One more deep breath. Such a wonderful way to open the front of our spine. And then lift the heels, bend the knees, elbows, chin to chest, lower back down to your bridge position. Take a deep breath in bridge, and then simply roll down. Hug the knees into the chest. Massage your low back for a second. Very good. And then simply roll to your right side. Gently pull yourself back up. All right, after our back bend, we have 3 more postures to do. We have a twist, a deep squat, malasana, and fish pose. These are 3 of my favorites. So what we'll do is we'll stay on our right hip. Just gently place your left foot up on top of your right foot. Okay? Draw your hands behind you to lift your chest up. Then sneak your left hand, palm facing down, underneath your right thigh. Lean back, lift your heart. So it's a nice stretch to my left forearm, wrist. And I'm going to look down over my left shoulder, but I'm going to keep lifting my heart, chest through the shoulders. I'm going to take a deep breath from my left hip up to my right heart. And I'm going to soften in my center. I'm going to soften the waistline, front of the waist, into my back. Keep growing my spine, my posture. This is also like a mermaid in Pilates. And then gently release, and let's just swivel the legs over to the other side. So now we're on our left hip, right foot on top of left center of foot. Lean back, lift your chest, lengthen your spine. Take your right hand, slip it underneath your left thigh. Lean back, left hand behind you. Hope you might want to move over a little bit so people can see you at home. Stand here a little bit. That's right. Okay, and then pause there, and then you can gently look over your right shoulder. If you have a good grounding position with your left hip, you can take your left arm up and grab hold of your right ear. Chin and throat back. You can even spin your chest up. Take one more deep breath in from your right hip up to your left armpit chest area. Lean back, keep lifting your chest through your shoulders. Such a good twist. And gently come out of that. All right, let's go ahead, find our way back up to standing just for a second. So ground your feet, hands to hips, unfold to come up. Okay, this next one is a deep, deep squat. And to progress into a nice deep squat, you want a lot of length in your spine. So widen your stance. So feet are as wide as your mat. Coco, again, you might want to move back a little bit so people can see you. There you go, so you're in the middle of the mat. You're gonna push the feet down and apart, start to finish, energetically. Draw the hips back, stick your butt out, bend the knees quite significantly. So feet pressing down and apart, seat drawing up, fingers reaching forward, armpits hollow, release the head. So right here, this is a big, ginormous stretch for your spine. You're really grounding through your feet, pressing down apart. And then you can gently lower all the way, bottom toward the floor. Elbows slide in to the upper inner thighs. Hands to heart center into your nice Malasana squat.
Can you put your hands in your feet?
You can absolutely do that, but you want to try to lift your spine so the chest lifts up. You can squeeze your upper thighs into your elbows. Keep firming your shoulders back, lifting your spine up. And we'll just be your one more deep breath in. You're doing good over there. Try to keep those heels grounded, chest up. And then go ahead, gently place your hands on the floor. We'll do one more posture, and then we'll do our last posture with little Pepper. So this one's called fish pose. All right, so let's go ahead, lower down all the way. And to start this one, we really want to make sure that the legs are strong. So you got to root the top of the thigh bone down, drive the heels away from you, squeeze the inner thighs in. Use your elbows, pressing down the floor, to really find a nice arc of your spine, a nice suppleness to the back, lifting up into the front body. Keep rolling the shoulder heads up and back. And then we're in fish here. We keep drawing the elbows down, shoulders back, heart up, grounded thighs, and we'll take 2 deep breaths right up into our throat. Breathe the whole front spine open. Ground thighs, ground elbows, ground the base of skull. And gently come back to neutral. All right, last posture, happy baby pose.
Mama.
Yes.
You could also have it, and you could pop up your chest like that. Pepper's
Uh-huh.
instead of use your elbows.
That's true. Very good, Coco. Thank you. We have one more posture. I'm going to bring little Pepper in with us. She's making her way over to us. This one is Pepper's specialty. It's called Happy Baby. She does it almost every day, a few times a day. And so we'll go back to our mats, Coco, and we'll do one final posture together. We'll lie down. We'll look at our feet. We'll kick them around a couple times.
Happy baby.
And then we can grab our feet with our hands, taking hold the outside of the feet, and push our feet up into our hands. And say, I'm a happy baby.
I'm a happy baby. Pepper's holding on to Mama, terrified.
So Pepper definitely loves to do that. Want to do it one more time for the camera? Oh, there she goes. And she loves to stick her tootsies in her mouth. Okay. So then simply roll to your side. And we're going to close off with just 3 deep breaths together. Girls, do you want to come to my mat with me? And I usually like to start with deep breaths and a little breathing practice before we start, but today we'll end with our 3 deep breaths. Okay, we'll have Pepper. Well, I'm just gonna hold on to her. It's Mother's Day, so I can choose. Okay, so sitting nice and tall, and we can just close our eyes. And what I like to do when I breathe, I like to breathe up my spine. And I breathe right up into my mind. And then I exhale, I just try to forgive myself and forgive others. And just sort of soften anything that needs to be softened. So just 2 more deep breaths. Inhale, breathing up your spine. And then exhale, just let go of anything that's making you uptight and too hard inside. Just 1 more deep breath. Always end with a smile. And thank you for joining us today. My name is Brooke. This is Pepper. This is
Coco!
and Ginger. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Okay.